Okay, let's talk about album covers. Covers are a little bit more complicated than spreads because the size of the document depends on how many spreads that you created. It's the thickness of the spine here that's the variable. So you want to create the cover at the end of your design, after you finished all the spreads. And there are basically three types of albums. There are these albums where you can't put a photo on the cover in case you don't need to look at this video even. And there are albums where you can put a photo on part of the cover. We'll look at those later. And then there are these albums where you can put a photo on the whole cover. So let's go and see how we create a cover. Let's take this photo, right click and make album cover, and this dialog shows up. So here you choose your supplier. Let's pick a basic Sol album with 13 spreads. And then you have these optional templates here. If you don't select one and then click continue, you'll be given a blank document with your photo on top, and you have to position it yourself. So that's why we have these templates. So let's pick this one. And that will open up the template, resize it for this particular album and the number of spreads, and put the photo into the hole. It looks easy, but there's a bit of calculations here to figure out to maintain the distance from the edge and the spine, etc. Let's not go into that. Instead, let's create another one. Let's take this one. Let's make it a horizontal album with 37 spreads, and this template here signifies a photo that's wrapped around the whole cover. So again, the template is resized for this album, and you can see the hole is behind here. So I just want to put the photo, so if I put it here, her crown will be wrapped around the board, the front cover. So you'd have to bring it down a little bit. Now her fingers will be folded over, but let's keep it this way. So when I press now save cover, two files will be saved, the Photoshop file and the JPEG file, just like spreads. Okay, so nothing complicated there. Let's close these two, and let's look at the third album type, where you have a photo with leather or cloth around it. So let's take this photo, and one of these manufacturers is Markus Schmuck. He's got a 25 by 25 centimeter basic line. Then when I come here, it says not installed, and that's because these templates, they're quite big, and you would have to download them separately and install them. So let's look at that. You would go to the download side, and here's a file called schmuck.zip, and you start downloading it, and I will pause the video here temporarily. Okay, we're almost done with the download, and it's unzipping the zip file now. So let's go into the Finder, and what we're going to do is take this unzipped file and put it into the distribution. This is my ProAlbum download, and you see this folder called templates cover. That's where I'm going to stick this Schmuck folder. So this folder Schmuck is inside templates cover, and inside the Schmuck folder you have the templates for his basic line albums. Okay, now let's go back and try that again. Make album cover, Marcus Schmoke, 25 by 25, basic, and boom, you have these templates. Let's try the Palea ones. And this quite hefty file is going to open, and it has an instruction layer. We can turn that off because I'll explain it, and then we can turn the grid lines off. So the hole here is 10 by 10 centimeters because the actual album is 9.5 by 9.5. So obviously you want the photo to be a little bit larger than the hole, otherwise you'd be struggling mounting the album. So, but you should bear in mind that the last 5 millimeters on the edge here may not be seen when your album is delivered. So I wouldn't put any, text or a ring or a face too close to the edge. I would, put it here somewhere, and you can enlarge it if you want. Like that. So it's not much you can do really. Inside here you have a material folder where you can turn off the layers for different materials, so you can see what sort of material works best for your client and the type of photo that they've chosen for the cover. Let's pick this Palea grass. It's a favorite of mine. So, what happens now when I save the cover? Well, there will be 3 files saved for this. Let's look at those. There's the Photoshop file. That's quite large, and you might want to consider, trashing that, because it's not so difficult to rebuild the cover, and the file is large. So the JPEG file, well, what do you do with that? Well, you can put it on online album proofing, and your clients can see what the material would look like. The cover photo, well, that's interesting, because that's the one you want to send to Marcus, because he needs that to print the album. Okay, well, that concludes the segment about the cover options.